Demons lurk on the horizon, shaman.
Xairiask, the huntress, calls, landing the shambling winged monstrosity serving as her mount, and gesturing to the northeast with her majestic golden lance.
A glorious hunt. Even you must see that there can be no alignment with such evils. Their very nature defies causality.
Ukiyasha Iku strokes his chin with concern, noting the excitement in Xairiask's voice.
Yes, huntress. They move in intersection with our current, and I will offer no argument towards their severance. But we must be cautious. Charging headlong into such a foe will result in the severance of many of our own, and that is not the Prophet's way. All whose place remains threaded into the current must remain threaded until the full extent of their thread is spent. Gah!
The huntress scoffs, irately.
Always hesitation, always delay. These monstrosities will scourge and burn if left unchecked. Not even Zas knows what vile rift they have erupted from, but we must sever them before they reach Xulusk.
The serpent shaman bares his fangs in response, ever annoyed at the huntress's goading.
You are untethered from the will of Zas if you think I do not realize that. I do not hesitate. I do not delay. I merely urge caution. I merely do as the Prophet himself does, unlike your brash impertinence. Ah!
The huntress scoffs again.
Zas also demands action. Decisive action. Severance when it is needed. And Zas speaks to me, so through his dream do I see the dangers that lie ahead, and how we must ready ourselves to purge all that oppose us. So lecture and sermonize to your flock as you will, shaman. I will scout beyond Xulusk's borders and keep vigil on these demons. You do as you wish.
With no further words, Xairiask spurs the undead wyvern back into the sky and raises her lance for the gathered army below to see, before soaring off to the northeast. Ukiyasha Iku watches her depart with a wary gaze before muttering to himself.
Yes, huntress. Only I fear it is not the dream of Zas that you are perceiving.
He makes note to relay her errant words to the Prophet in time, but for now he can see no true fault in Xairiask's call to action. Demons on the borders of Xulusk is a dire threat, and as much as he might try and temper his compatriots' fury and potentially misguided zeal, he realizes it will be for the good of all Xaask if he follows her north and rallies the settlers of Xulusk to defend their newfound home. Greetings, fellow children of Zas. It is the Ash Heriter, and I am back. Apologies for my absence. It's still going to be a little bit patchy, getting everything recorded and all of that. It's been a very busy couple of weeks. Also, my nervous system, particularly my hand, is in open rebellion, which, you know, it is what it is. I can't do much about it. So, yeah, anyways, here we are, in Xulusk. So, the demons are indeed nearby. They're currently picking haste berries, but, I'm sure they'll be up to far more nefarious and evil activities soon. Besides, we need those haste berries. It's gonna be good for us. So, we are already starting to recruit some spear bearers as the settlers here in Xulusk are readying themselves for the battle to come. To speed the process up, we are also going to construct a workshop. I would really like to be able to actually rush some of these units. So let's rush one of these spear bearers. It's only gonna cost us 120. Let's just do it right now. We got that out. And as it so turns out, yeah, she's flying off on her own. As we saw, she's going up, and she's going to be keeping an eye on these demons. Now, here in Zasadar says we are ready to annex further provinces, so right now we've got two really good options. As much as I would like to take these down here so that we can get to this Altar of Ancients, we need to go for the more immediate benefit right now, which is going to be either these... Ooh, actually, no, hold on. I may not. I may expand southwards yet. As much as I want these can be taken by Irzasri. And they will be taken by Irzasri, so we're going to leave that as is. Here, though, that is of mine. That could be quite good. There's a territory here as well. We got some farms. I'm actually going to build this farm right here, just to even out this region. I would like to take these, but getting some extra food is going to allow us to expand even faster. In the meantime, Izika Ikizi, the Sunderer, is going to be moving up here. There are certain enemies along our borders that are going to need to, you know, they're going to need to be dealt with. So we're going to send him up, while the Prophet himself is actually going to come over this way and deal with these enemies right here. So we're going to move here in the shadow of this watchtower. We have a unit of raiders here. Where are we sending them? I'm going to send them to Xuluzk, actually. But as we send them to Xuluzk, I'm going to have them build a road to Xuluzk. So that should be good. Cannot build roads across mountains. Okay, well then why don't you build a road down here? That would be great. There's a crag down here too, so we'll need to be a little bit careful. In the meantime, the rest of our forces are all going to be moving up into the positions that they need to get into, but I will do that off screen. The Prophet moves to engage these brigands that are currently guarding silver tongue fruits on near the edges of our territory. These resources will, of course, need to be claimed eventually for the good of the Xaaz Exodites, yes. And in the meantime, these brigands, you know, they're waylaying our lands. The farmers out here do not feel safe with them so nearby. So, unfortunately, they will need to be dealt with. This is going to be a challenging battle. There are several elite units, Grand Viziers, and a champion. This is no ordinary band of bandits. These are well equipped. These are funded. Likely, this is the work of Nezukat and Vex. But we shall see. No, there are many Jadur Shadal amongst them. Perhaps this is the work of Hirkanix instead. In either case, this will be a dangerous battle, but they need to be dealt with before they get any ideas. So the Prophet moves. We will have the advantage of great magic at our disposal, but aside from that, it is going to be a single condensed battle. We will attempt to use the territory to our advantage. However, every 2 turns, one of the defending units has a 90% chance of suffering distracted until the end of combat. Very good. That will actually benefit us. This is not the best place for them to defend. So we're just going to need to be careful. We could attempt... No, our best bet is to advance and then shoot a magic missile of some variety. So, let's see. The enemy is going to be able to move up to there. These are the armored pikemen. This is an elite enemy unit, as well as halberdiers, peasant pikemen, champions, cosmic channelers, and of course, the Grand Viziers. I don't know why there are multiple Grand Viziers. That, maybe that unit needs to be renamed. Let's see here. Let's actually present a single unified front. They're going to be able to move right up to here. Let's stay in the trees here. So I'll move up the first of my warriors right there. We have another unit of defenders. These are our slightly more elite units that are going to move right along the side. In the meantime, we're going to put our chaplains right in the middle. Our war shamans can go right here, and we'll have raiders waiting in the back to deliver some pain of their own after the enemy charges. But in the meantime, we will bless our defenders. First things first. Sorry, wrong button. And our war channelers... Sorry, our war shamans are going to be unable to do anything. However, right now, what I can already do is do a triumph foretold right here. Which will make sure that we all are aligned. Which will be very good for us. For now, we can take a defensive posture and wait to see what the enemy does. We do mostly have the ranged advantage, but their one ranged unit may be quite dangerous. So, we're going to have to do what we can. What are our spells? We have Visions of Victory. We could immediately cast that on our troops right now and begin the engagement. We could already charge. They do, unfortunately, have retaliation. They're going to have quite capable retaliation. Let's see if we can't thin them out first. Oh, and of course, first things first, we will strengthen and put some regenerate onto our allies here. And we could open this up with a lightning evocation to deliver some damage onto the enemies. It's not going to do a whole lot of damage. Perhaps we're actually better off using a magic missile to inflict more damage onto a single enemy unit. That also doesn't seem to be all that effective. No, I think lightning evocation is going to be the way how it is. Or I drop a rallying blessing. I'm going to drop the rallying blessing, I think. Or visions of woe. We could do a visions of woe right here. That would hit 4 of the enemies, cause them to fumble their attacks. Let's actually do that. Okay, so they are being plagued by visions of Zas, who will befuddle their senses and interrupt their capacity to aim. Now, we're only going to be able to engage with our infantry, but I think that's going to be for the best. So we can do an engagement right here. They're going to attack us, but it basically did nothing. And in the meantime, our defenders can come in and further attack them. These are the peasant pikemen here, right? No, they're the halberdiers. Okay. So we do need to actually deal with both of these, but if we can inflict more casualties on one enemy unit, I will be happy. So, our chaplain here, in that case, doesn't really have anything of major importance to do, so I'm going to advance the chaplain behind these ranks, and we're going to continue pounding in here on these armored pikemen. In the meantime, our raiders are going to move around the side here. If I move them there, what kind of... They're not going to be targeted by anything, so we're going to advance around the side. They do have cosmic channelers, so they do have a secondary unit at their ranged unit at their disposal. But thus far, it's good. One of their melee units has been damaged. It is, unfortunately, the melee unit back there that's the real problem. Yeah, that was, and these viziers, of course, that are also an issue. But here we're doing good. They are fumbling their attacks here, only inflicting grazes. Fantastic. That mitigated a whole lot of the damage, which our chaplains are going to very easily be able to chunk through, and these guys, of course, are going to do almost nothing because they lost quite a few of their number to our attention. Now, looks like the enemy is going to actually play this game out. All right. Interesting. So they're just going to accept this. Yeah, from the looks of it, they're just taking it. This is good, actually. So, where can we advance to here? Oh, hold on. I may have just messed up. This is a dead end. That is unfortunate. I can engage here, but I would rather trigger the retaliation. Because that is a, not the unit that I actually want to have. Okay, we're going to do a mending touch. So I don't want to trigger the retaliation with my cavalry, because these are anti-cavalry. Halberds. I assume halberds are anti-cavalry. It would make sense. So we're going to deliver some attacks in here, dealing quite a bit of damage. So the unit's at half strength. My prophet is, of course, going to... I think now is the good time for some lightning evocation. Or we can drop the rallying blessing again. I think I'm going to do it again. I'll do it the second time. Screw it. Why not? Okay, our war shamans here can launch some magical attacks. I mean, we need to deal with these ranged units, so I'm going to actually hit some magical attacks back there. Our chaplains here can drop a blessing on... Actually, we're going to drop it on our cavalry. Because our raiders are about to go in on a deep flank. Unfortunately, they're not going to be able to reach it this turn. That's just how it is. The prophet will remain behind and observe the battle as it carries out. In the meantime, we have our magic at our disposal. I'm going to drop an Omen of Respite right here. So, our troops remain bolstered. We're fighting in this choke point here, and the enemy seems eager to oblige. I'm beginning to realize why. They do currently have the advantage. The viziers are quite deadly, but I'm hoping we can heal through it. We shall see. I may lose this unit of Jadar Shadal defenders. No, we will not. That's good. Alright. Things are now getting dangerous. We are going to need to move in. Let's have our chaplains here deliver a healing prayer on our troops right here. So that's going to do quite a lot of healing and remove some status effects. In the meantime, our warriors are going to cleave into these remaining armored pikemen and finish them off. now our defenders can advance undeterred, and our cavalry can actually sneak around. However, if our cavalry do sneak around, we are going to trigger a counter... Well, we're not going to trigger an immediate counterattack, but it's going to open them up to the attention of these champions here. So I would actually rather move my cavalry up and engage in the front. But before I do that, I am going to drop a condemnation onto this unit. Excellent, which should allow us to more effectively... they have steadfast, so they're not actually dead. Of course, they have steadfast. Everything in their dog has steadfast. I am in full agreement to the commenter that said that it is very annoying that the Marauders get this. So, our cavalry are going to advance in here. And now that the enemy is suitably distracted, we can deal some damage. As for what we're going to do right now, we could do a Triumph Foretold, or we could attempt to do another larger heal here. We have several options. I think I'm going to actually heal up. I can't. I need to move up to them, don't I? Well, we could do a Restore. No, we cannot do that either. Well, then it may be Lightning Evocation. I would like to not hit the Steadfast ones. It's just, this doesn't do much. It will actually do a bit of damage to the Cosmic Channeler, so I'll tell you what, we're going to do it that way. Alright, a little bit of lightning damage going in. They're now down to one remaining Halberdier. That's going to cripple their effectiveness, and while the enemy decides to just hang there... Okay, good. Not a multi-range attack. Unfortunately, there is now a gap in our line. Our valiant Jador Shadal defenders died trying to bring their bandit brethren to justice. They will be remembered for their sacrifice. Okay, interesting. The Cosmic Channelers are now entering the combat. Okay, they apparently have a pretty effective melee ability. We're learning as we go. I could, of course, read all of these abilities beforehand, but I kind of like not knowing what the enemies are doing and just finding out in battle, and then, you know, of course, learning more as we go. So we're going to drop a Mending Touch right here. It's going to be very effective at healing our men, and then we are going to bless our troops as they make good on slaying these Cosmic Channelers who are now dead. Alright, that is a second enemy unit dead. We could finish off this enemy right now, which would open up our cavalry. So our cavalry can now advance and target the enemies that need to be targeted. I think I need to engage the Viziers in melee. Either way, they're going to be fighting someone, because they're gonna be coming in. So I'm going to drop Condemnation on the Viziers, and I'm going to swing our cavalry around so that we can at least tie them up. In the meantime, the Prophet is going to advance. Question is how far. Let's just pull up to here for now. We have a magic missile that we could do, or I could attempt a... No, I'm going to do... First off, I'm going to do a spur to action, which I'm going to do here. Are they steadfast? They're both. Neither of them died. Oh, I really hate it. I actually do not like it, as it so turns out. Okay, Prophet. Advance a bit further. Get up to there. I'm confident that he can withstand whatever's happening, and we need to spur to action onto our cavalry. That way our cavalry can actually dish out some damage there. But before I do that, can we drop a heal here? We absolutely can. I don't know if that's going to be our best option. I think it is. Unless we want to try and do more damage. No, we need to make sure our cavalry don't die. I don't know how much this is going to actually do, but let's just do it. Okay, that's one of them down. That's going to decrease their effectiveness a bit. So I'm concerned about these champions. They may straight up be able to kill the cavalry in one turn, though it's looking like they might not, but these two units combined may be able to do it, which would be very unfortunate, but it is what it is. Okay, they can still act, apparently. That's concerning. That did almost nothing back to them. And they are going to continue slashing into my troops. Ah, that is unfortunate. But at the very least, we can now flank them. Or we would be able to flank them if their units hadn't been steadfast last turn. No, we will still be able to flank them because they attacked me. Good. Alright, that also killed the unit over there. Good, good. We did lose our cavalry. It is very unfortunate. I could drop in some magic bolts right now. I think that may be what I do. just to deal as much damage as possible. We gotta get them out of here somehow. So I'm gonna drop Condemnation right here. Okay, they're condemned. Okay, magic bolts course through their ranks. We can invigorate our troops here. I'm gonna grant 10 temporary hit points. It's a good course of action. Let's do it. And our chaplains are not actually going to be able to participate too much in dealing a whole lot of damage. I'm going to advance them just a little and attack these channelers there, the viziers. I need to engage them in combat. That just is how it is. This is going to be a rough fight. We're going to suffer some serious casualties. But, yeah, annoying steadfast units. And they're going to hit me with another AoE. Thankfully, that didn't do a whole lot of damage. And all the status effects are resisted. We'll see what these Viziers are capable of. I have a feeling we're going to be losing our warriors. Yes, they are dead. And we now have pikemen in here. So we need to be able to deal... Okay, we're in a bit of a bad situation here, is the unfortunate truth of the matter. Condemnation, more damage there. I need to kill that unit somehow. What if I were to engage? Yeah, I can kill it in melee, but I have just this sneaking suspicion. No, it actually died. Okay. Good. We gotta get our damage in somewhere. Good. What can we do here? Healing prayer on ourselves, perhaps? So then our clerics here, our chaplains, are just gonna try and tank this out. We'll see what the enemy champions do. Wow, so they have their own heal. That was a big heal too. Okay. So we can deal quite a lot of damage with our arcane bolts. We can attempt a magic missile, but that doesn't do much, so... Oh no, the lightning evocation does almost nothing. Alright. Well, this is dangerous. We will drop a Visions of Woe here, so that at least we might be able to disengage a little. Pull back. Ugh. Okay, and now that they're pulled back, we can do some magic bombardments. Do I drop a Mending Touch on myself? I'm going to drop a Mending Touch on myself, because we can. It's a free action. And then we gotta get some damage in. That's about all we can do. So we're going to drop a Condemnation right there. Get some damage in. We gotta kill off one of these units. You're going to pull back and basically do almost no damage. I actually dealt better than I thought it would. So now the enemy has to actually get to us. So that's going to prevent them from taking too many actions. So that didn't do a whole lot thanks to the grazing and all that. Some Visions of Woe. See if we can pull this off. Their morale is descending, which is good. Can the Prophet straight up kill them? Magic Bolts is going to do quite a bit. Or I can just kill them with this magic missile. I'm going to do that. Alright, they're gone. Right? No, they're not, because they're steadfast. God, I hate it. Alright, then all we gotta do here is drop a, Okay, move up to here. Oh, now I can't, of course. That makes sense. That is a problem. I misdid that a little. Okay, we need to withdraw. Okay. A little bit of magic damage, all we can do. Should have withdrawn a little farther. Should I drop anything else? We could do a Wrath of the Faithful. How much damage is that going to do? 15? And it's going to do more than Condemnation. And they're already condemned, so... It is what it is. Okay, not much damage at the very least. We may be able to survive this. Okay, they died. The enemy is fleeing. No, we're going to pursue them. We cannot allow any of them to escape, unfortunately. Okay, release a magical bombardment in there. That dealt almost nothing. Going to release another one in here. It's also straight up missed. Right, and 65% chance of success only? No, deal with them in melee. It's not going to do much. So we'll do a teeny bit of damage that way, and we'll drop another condemnation right here. And that is all of our casting for this battle. That's fine. Okay. They're still only with the 65% chance to hit, regrettably. So we're basically doing nothing to them. Okay. Fine, we'll do it like so. Well, from the looks of it, they were able to escape. Very unfortunate. The champions have fled, and unfortunately, we took many casualties during that battle. But it is what it is. Our lands have been freed from these brigands. All that remains here is these earth elementals, but I'm not overly concerned of them. They are quite distant from our territory. So we're going to need to return to Zasarces, and Zasarces is going to have to start producing some new units. So our casting core remained intact, so we need more melee troops. And unfortunately, I don't have too many options for melee troops, aside from Tier 1 melee troops. So, Tier 1 melee troops it is, unless I want to get some Stormscale Serpents. No, we're going to take more of these warriors. Warriors have been good for us. They're going to produce very quickly as well, so that'll all be well and fine. And, of course, he has leveled up. He has gained his 3rd signature skill. What will we give him? I think we're going to give him Restoration. Heals target friendly unit for 40 temporary hit points and dispels its negative status effects. A target friendly unit that is dead can be revived with 60% of its hit points. That is awesome. Absolutely. He will be taking Restoration, and as for the skill that he's going to get, he is, of course, an army leader predominantly, so Sanctify here, it's a single action. He's got enough abilities. So I don't think we need to give him more abilities right now. So actually, I am going to give him Precognition here. Because he is a prophet. Would make sense. Alright. In the meantime, Zaire Yazg is keeping an eye on these demons. And we have the raider from the north jump into Ukiasha Iku, the Serpent's army. And we are currently producing the Spearbearer here. We're going to need more forces than what we have to deal with this demonic incursion. These are incredibly dangerous units, so we are going to recruit a Sunderer and hurry the recruitment here. This is going to cost us all of our gold, but these Spearbearers are going to be inspired by Zaire Yazg and join up with her. However, Zaire Yazg is going to pull away from the demon ever so slightly. And then in the meantime, our scouts are going to continue scouting around, exploring the oceans and the lands, bypassing very large cephalopods as they search for treasure. And on land here, behind enemy lines, near the nation of, what is it called? Bar-Adnivex. They will continue to search around. However, from the looks of it, Hirhani Quilantir has crossed. So it seems like the elves and the dwarves are maintaining a strong rivalry, which is very unfortunate, and Hirhani Quilantir, who could be an ally of ours, seems to be having good relations with one of the dragons. Perhaps she believes that by befriending one of them, she can hunt the other two. We shall see how that goes. And the denouncements here, ooh, Nezukhadnevex and of Nazarax do not appear to be friendly with one another. This is good. Do the dragons turn on each other? Nezukhadnevex appears to be threatening the other 2 dragon lords, as is to be expected. He is the most powerful of the 3. Perhaps he feels as though their independence is unwarranted. This is good. We will do what we can to encourage those tendencies. Ill tidings. Corruption in Zasarces. Corruption rules your city of Zasarces. its people governed by crooked guards and fraudulent guildmasters. A citizen explains the situation to you, even. The citizen kneels before you in deference, but speaks with a boldness that increases with every word.
My prophet, corruption has festered in the Saracens for far too long. Disease, chaos, and poverty reign in the streets while the guild leaders buy luxuries. The guards themselves raid our houses and rob us instead of protecting us. This cannot go on, my prophet. Your city will rot from the inside. How will you end the corruption?
Unfortunately, we will have to slow the city's growth until the corruption can be pushed out. This will cease population growth, but it will, at the very least, solve the problem. What we need to do now, in order to solve this problem, is stop the screen from moving towards one end of the, there we go. Alright, so Zasara says here, naturally, this is the city being led by Xairiazg. Is anyone surprised? We're going to need to construct taverns. This is how we solve this issue. We have brought to the floodplains to Xulusk, and in the interim turns as well, emissaries from the Deephelm Separatists have come to us and negotiated an opening of our borders, allowing free trade to pass between our people, as well as allowing our armies to move through the territory of the Deephelm Separatists, and the armies of the Deephelm Separatists to move through our territories. This will allow further mutual cooperation between our factions against the threat that is the Draconian Order. The Prophet returns to Zasara says now. He's aware of what is happening there, but for now there are more pressing concerns. He will draft several of the spiders in this army to assist him. He is wary of them and their allegiances, but for now, all will be well. These wild beasts will need to be hunted, and Ezika Ikizi, the chieftain of the Sunderers, will be the lizard to do it. His forces will hunt these creatures down and convert them into bacon for the growing population, although currently there is no growing population, so the bacon will be used to help establish order. We'll take these rewards, and we will quickly return back to our territory where we can deal with this white wolf and the creatures that are joining it. They threaten our borders. Eventually, we will need to expand up there. In the meantime, Irzasri has constructed a town hall, which is going to allow us to expand even further into both the sea and further south. For now, it's going to be expansion south. We have our coastline, or at least the majority of it. The parts that we want are as needed. As for everything else, we're going to construct a tavern here as well. We need increased public order wherever we might go. And Xiaoraisk can annex another province. Fantastic. Well, right here we have the Rainbow Clovers, which will grant us +5 Imperium income and +10 stability for our empire. That sounds excellent. Let us construct a research post so we can study this amazing life form. Quickly, our researchers realize that the rainbow clover, when lending its scintillating aspect to any setting, has been found to promote feelings of camaraderie and fellowship among those who gaze upon it. Once a notable feature at many halfling tribes' feast and mead halls. That's the end of the sentence. Yes. This will be good. This will be good. Zasara says could use some assistance. So perhaps if everybody felt more... Perhaps if we can give this... and spike the water supply of the guildmasters and the corrupted guards, they will feel more camaraderie for the local population, and will be less inclined to steal from their fellows, who they now care about significantly more. No, this is not a morally questionable act. In the slightest. We'll pass Harkfang by. Interesting. Another city of the Swamp King. We'll need to be very wary there. And there is a wrecked ship here within enemy territory that holds many resources, which we will quickly take and flee with before the pirates that were undoubtedly responsible for this wreckage find us. And our troops enter friendly territory. For now, Ukiyasha Iku has managed to convince Zairiazk not to engage the demons directly. Zairiazk, of course, understands that this is perhaps above what she is capable of. So she is going to actually return to Xuluzk temporarily to assist in the recruiting. In assisting in the recruiting, she will, of course, be utilizing her own Tales of Valor. Sorry, wrong character. This should have been the one moving there. Well, they're both going to be heading back in that case. She will be assisting with Tales of Valor. Meanwhile, the Serpent Shaman, who is a bit more level-headed, will assist in the administration of recruiting so many new troops. So let us recruit a warrior here as well, and we're going to hurry the recruitment, because we need to. And are there any further cities that require floodplains? So, we have spread the floodplains. In my knowledge, we have done it everywhere. Yeah, indeed. Okay, well, all cities are now in the water. We have it ready in case we need to do another one. I think we should ready a Drown in the Mire. That will be ready next turn. We can use that on the demons. It might douse their fires ever so slightly. Izika Ikizi moves north to engage yet another pack of dangerous enemies. Some of his forces are wounded, but we can rely on our own magic. In fact, as we rely on our own magic, I think we should rely on our own magic here. This will, of course, require that he waits very briefly. He sees the danger to his troops, and Izika Ikizi is... He's, of course, a true leader. He wishes to spare his forces any unnecessary losses. So, after a quick assessment of the enemy forces present, he has retreated back to friendly territory, or in the direction of friendly territory, so that his troops might engage in more favorable circumstances. An infestation has sent invading forces towards us. Interesting. That will head towards Piaraisk. This... Yeah, indeed. We are the closest city. We're going to need to deal with Haunted Graveyard. Well, since the Prophet has nothing overt to be doing, I mean, there are of course many things that he needs to do, he will move down to Piaraisk. And as he does so, I believe he is going to start building a road. We shall see that next turn, however. Our forces here are almost ready to engage. We will move just right here. There's one more unit that can be recruited. We can wait 2 turns to recruit that, or we can engage already. Of course, Sairiya is going to push for engaging immediately, and in the circumstance, as is, Piasha Iku will reluctantly agree that this demon threat needs to be neutralized, that 2 more weeks could be awaited for this remaining unit of warriors to emerge, but at the same time, these warriors could instead be used to replenish the losses that will undoubtedly be suffered. In the meantime, a research post has been built here on this Arcanium ore. The researchers have discovered that the Arcanium ore is related to the ancient titans that shaped the world, and is formed from their sweat, dripping onto the primal materials of the earth, fusing into raw arcanium. Now whenever such a vein is exposed above ground, a strange ethereal vapor sees prospectors from all over rushing to its location. Its unique composition makes for magical and malleable metal, meaning far quicker production times. Excellent. Xuluzk will become a strong industrial hub here with the mountains so nearby, and an ore vein, and of course this arcanium ore. It will also be quite close to the lines against Hirkonix, so when war breaks out with Hirkonix, it will be instrumental for us. We will need to defend it. We can now become anointed by the currents of Zas. Causality itself will bless us. When we conduct a great ritual, it will bolster our resistance against the sorcerous effects and influences of the enemy. That'll be very good for us. In the meantime, we could either attempt to tame the trolls. Perhaps we won't do that. Trolls do not align with us. Or Cosmic Reprisal. Target friendly unit and 2 other adjacent units get aligned. A prediction reprisal is made. After 2 turns, up to 5 random units without aligned sustain 5 lightning damage, 5 fire damage, 5 frost damage. This Would be good, but we need to then ensure that all of our units are aligned by the time this procs, and that the enemy units are not. Or we could attempt to inflict rot. Enemy units in a 1-hex radius suffer the poisoned and decaying status effects. This is related to the swamp. It may be a darker ability, but we are not opposed to such things. We will get inflict rot. And as it stands now, we need to engage. We have to strike. So, Ukiyasha will move his army into position, while of course Sairiaz the Ruthless will engage the enemy. This is going to be a fierce battle, where finally the two rivals are in alignment themselves, believing that there can be no other outcome other than battle. Ooh. The enemy advances. They advance into a nice cluster. This is good. Now, the Balor here has very dangerous abilities. It can deal a whole lot of damage, and it can deal damage onto units in a line. So we need to be very cognizant about where we put our troops. Indeed, Phoenixes can also deal damage into a hex. So, unfortunately, as much as clumping up our units together is strong, we need to avoid doing so when possible. Now, this doesn't mean we can't clump up right early at the start so that we can drop a triumph, foretold, onto our troops. The enemy is coming to us, after all. Let us exploit this. We can move our troops into position right here. We can even move our Sunderers. Yes, that seems actually the best course of action. We're going to move this unit all the way onto this side. These warriors right here, and I'm going to advance these Sunderers. We'll move the Spear Bearers up, and I will put the Sunderers behind, because that would be the sensible thing to do. And then, Ukiyasha Iku the Serpent is going to use a Triumph Foretold to ensure that all of them are aligned, all of them will be blessed. As for here, we shall bless the Gortusk Matriarch. It is a blessed pig. It will squeal in true glory. Now, the Lightbringer is actually going to advance. This is a summoned unit. It will die on its own, and it would be beneficial for us if we could assume direct control over one of the enemies. Oh my god, that thing can move fast. Okay, so we're going to move it right here. I'm hoping that we might be able to tag the Spirit Hawk with the ability, but we shall see. In the meantime, the enemy has a massive mobility advantage. I'm going to move my Raiders over here. Hopefully, as well as the Ruthless Huntress is going to move in that direction. And our Spear Bearers are going to move right over here. We're going to present, for now, a unified front. As soon as the enemy closes more, we're going to disperse so that they don't hit us with... Actually, we're going to disperse right now. I'm not going to risk it. Any unit that can move out of position will. I simply don't want to engage yet, so let's move our Gortusk Matriarch over here. A warrior has to remain there. Our Spear Bearers can pull this way. This Spear Bearer can't move, so it's going to just move back ever so slightly. And these Sunderers, where are they going to go? I'm going to actually pull the Sunderers back. I'm going to pull them back even farther. It's not ideal, but I don't want to have too many units getting hit here. So these Spear Bearers, I'm going to pull right up to here. So at least going to prevent... There may be a line attack there. I'm going to pull them here. Gotta be ready for anything. Alright, let's see how this goes. They are moving towards my flankers. Interesting. And we're going to withdraw them. They are going to take this as bait. Okay, we can evade the Balor. We cannot evade the Phoenix. What is her problem? She's aligned. Okay. Why can I not see the move here? I'm confused. Okay, so her movement is currently quite limited. Might pull all the way back to there. She might get charged by the little birds. No, I'll move her all the way back here. We're doing a deep flank here. Very deep flank. So, this is good. We are going to attempt to convert this. 44%, that's 60. 19, that's not going to happen. Ooh, I'm going to attempt to convert this one. Resisted, but it is weakened now. So, that's something. We're going to advance the rest of our troops. They're going to be able to get the charge on us. There's nothing we can do about that. They have a huge mobility advantage, so... all I can do is make sure that we are in position to do a potent countercharge. Let's move these spear bearers over here. Maybe this way, even. Sunderers can advance over in this direction. Chaplains can move there. Ukiyasha Iku, the serpent, is actually going to summon an animal. Oh, a thunderbird. Interesting. Let's pull the Thunderbird up to here, because the Thunderbird's actually already going to be able to do some damage there. So that's going to inflict slow, which is good. And do we want to do any sort of immediate attack here? We could do a Wrath of the Faithful. How much damage? It's only going to do 12. We'll do more to some of these other units. 17 damage to that. I'd rather do Condemnation. 10 damage, and we'll inflict Spirit Weakness. Let's do that. We need to get some adverse effects onto these enemies as soon as possible. Okay. They've left our flanking force alone, and the demon has engaged. Oh my god. Yeah, alright. Wasn't quite expecting that, but they were indeed put into a line. Thankfully, 2 of those units are... oh god! This is a slaughter. Alright. Oh my god, what is... yeah, 2 of those units are at least expendable, but... man, that was some damage. Okay, we need to get a strong retaliation here, and our cavalry need to move in to attack the enemy from the rear. Thankfully, they are exposed, but we need to save some of our units, because we have some units here that are going to die real fast. And Ukiyasha Iku here could do a restore, could do a mending touch as well. I think we need to mend up these troops right here. You guys are actually going to mend up yourselves and then do a healing prayer on yourselves, or do we healing prayer? We're going to healing prayer here. They're going to, of course, potentially sacrifice themselves. But we then need to get a condemnation here. What do I want to take out? There's too many options. I think we need to get a condemnation onto this pigeon here. We're going to throw some javelins at it, hopefully get some sundered defense. Very good. It's going to allow our spear bearers to come in, deliver a flanking attack with Giant Slayer, which is actually going to deal a respectable amount of damage. Now, as for what else is happening here, what can we do here? Thunderclap. Thunderclap could hit 3 enemy units. It's going to hit my own troops as well, and it's going to deal quite a lot of damage to them. So I prefer not to do that. We could hit 2 enemies, like so. 2 enemies right there, 2 enemies right here. Let's hit them right here. We'll do a thunderclap. That's going to knock the enemies around a little. That's actually good for us. So we could basically come in with a strong flanking attack, which will cancel its retaliation. Good. So now we can attack it with impunity. This demon has to go. That basically is the truth of the matter. Can we stun it? 39% chance? That seems unlikely. Surprise, surprise. That was not very effective. As for dealing any potential damage here, we're going to absolutely trigger a retaliation if we do that. We're going to trigger a retaliation if we move as well. But we got to engage. Ugh, that is some massive damage. Okay. Does he do a restore? Or does he drop a Death Blast? Death Blast can actually do some work. We need to get this Phoenix out of here. One of these units needs to go quickly. Alright, Spear Bearers are going to attack there. Giant Slayer should apply. It does. Still absolutely negligible damage. We could have our Raiders here engage this pigeon. And in the meantime, we're going to have the Irias, the Ruthless, advance. And I'm going to have the Raiders engage this pigeon right here. Get a good flank in. Do we do a Ruthless or Reckless Rage? Not yet. We'll save that for later. That is unfortunately our turn. No enemies defeated yet. To be expected, because these are some highly dangerous enemy units. So, alright, it is going to attack my pig. That's fine. It can take it. and it will not fight at reduced effectiveness. When being attacked by the pig, you are now attacking my... Okay. They're just dead, I guess. Alright, they're dead as well. Many are dying. This is a nasty fight. I spread my forces out, but it didn't matter. They were still able to deal some severe damage. We have lost all of our Sunderers. Okay, the pigeon doesn't care at all. That didn't even trigger a retaliation. Do you have an ability that causes that? Probably. I know there are some. Okay, we are in danger. Substantial danger. So, the Gortas Matriarch must be in a state of fury. Okay, so we need to get some damage in. Death Blast here. I think we can kill the Phoenix, or at least temporarily get rid of it. Okay, if we stab it there, it is unfortunately going to do its resurrection thing. That's fine. We gotta get rid of it. Good. It is gone. Our chaplain's going to move away, because that thing's... It's gonna blow. We gotta get some damage in on this demon. Our Thunderbird here. Our Thunderbird can engage the demon. Can it? Why can you not fight anything? I can't attack. What is happening here? Sundered resistance. This is my Thunderbird. That is an enemy Thunderbird. For some reason I cannot attack. That is weird. Alright, well, it is what it is. We are going to proc Relentless Rage so that she can rush in and nearly instantly kill this thing. So we will at least get rid of one of them, and then our cavalry can come in and finish the job. Do you have another attack? You do not. Alright, so we're going to get rid of this Thunderbird. It's down. One enemy down. Is this going to be a Hail Mary attempt at a stun? We can do a 90% chance of a stun here. Let's actually do that. It's going to prevent the retaliation here. So, alright. That enemy unit is stunned, and we have a heal. Now you can do your ability. Ah, so, yeah, you were just being threatened there by these. Makes sense. We can almost kill this demon. It's almost dead. It is very close to dead. Can I kill it with a Wrath of the Faithful? I absolutely can. That is poetic. The Wrath of the Faithful has destroyed the demon. The Phoenix is down. It is going to revive because it's a Phoenix and it's down. Oh my god, I finally get the Final Fantasy item. It all makes sense now. I haven't played those games since I was a kid, so, you know, cut me some slack. Yeah, I know the reference is incredibly obvious. It's just, when I was a kid, I never made that connection, and, there goes my pigeon has died. The enemy pigeons are advancing, attacking my... Dear Lord! That was a tier 2 unit that you almost one-shotted. These Phoenixes are really powerful, and I think I'm gonna lose the Hell Pig. No, Hell Pig should survive. Okay, so... I mean, we knew this was gonna be a rough fight. It has not disappointed. We're gonna drop a blessing right here. And these blessed spear bearers are going to run on in here and take out some of these assault pigeons. Meanwhile, Ukiyasha Iku is gonna have to drop a restore right there. It's not much, but it's gonna remove the disease. And you can finish off... We gotta kill this thing. Okay. Wasn't quite expecting that. Wrath of the Faithful ain't gonna do much. Condemnation. We will condemn it. Okay, solid damage. And that is unfortunately all we can do. Okay, Xayiriazk, I really hope you can tank a hit from this thing. Well, there go those chaplains. Our entire army is being destroyed. It left. Interesting. It did not engage. Fascinating. Then we're just gonna kill it. Like so. Goodbye. This leaves this enemy unit right here. We're going to have to destroy them, these demon-corrupted birds. The Serpent Shaman is going to engage in melee himself. delivering a sharp stab to these creatures, and Xeriask the Ruthless can finish off these small birds. Self, excellent. The enemy will be defeated. Our heroes survive, but basically nothing else does, so... except for these spear bearers. And Xeriask is going to deliver the final blow. Alright. Incredibly brutal. Boom. The demons are gone. We have cleansed them. And for now, the rival forces are once again going to have to mobilize together. But hey, at the very least, we've cleansed the demonic infestation. Irzasri has produced its tavern. Fantastic. We can celebrate the defeat of a demonic incursion and mourn the losses of our dead. We can further this by creating a bathhouse. This will provide yet more stability. Could be good, but right now we are stable. Grants XP to every unit produced in this city. That could be good too. But what else could we make here? There are special province improvements that we could construct. We could construct an astral observatory, which would give more stability and more knowledge. Could be good. Spelljammer would always be good. A forest of stakes might be fun. 7 food income, 7 production income, 7 draft income per adjacent forester. We have no forest. No, we do have 1 forester, but I don't want to replace a farm. So, is there anything here that I could replace? We basically don't have anything we want to replace. All of this stuff is good, so... it's gonna just be as is. What do we build here, then? Do I build the bathhouse? I think I'm just gonna build the bathhouse. Screw it. Spell readied, armied, healed is good. Okay, we are going to actually drop the army heal. Right here, we're gonna do it this way. Our troops are ready to go, and now we can engage. This is once again going to be a difficult fight. The enemies advance. So this is going to be the main threat here, this white wolf. I don't know what this thing is. Okay, it has some sort of howl. Ooh. That is dangerous. Okay. This can deal quite a lot of damage, and that's on a, deals damage and applies 2 weakened to enemy units within 2 hexes. Alright, so it has a big AoE ability. Great! Just what I wanted. So... we're going to have to fight a dispersed battle. That's what this is coming down to. Also, I don't actually think we properly leveled him up. Because he has a bunch of abilities that I don't really need. And that don't really make sense for him to have. Which means I'm not actually going to use them. Which is very unfortunate, but, what's the range on that? Quite a lot. Alright, so, hold on, where? There? Okay, so he could already basically engage. So I'm going to move Izika Ikizi right up here. I wanted to do that. Damn it. Can I undo? Damn. Great. Then I'm just going to do that. So he is going to channel power to deal some extra magic damage. He's got some lightning invocations there that we're not going to worry too much about. Warriors are going to advance up to here just to hold this terrain on the plateau. I think I want these guys to just hold right here. I'm going to put my Sunderers. No, I'll put my Astrologers right back here. Let's give you a prediction fortune. I'm going to put my Sunderers ever so slightly back. And yeah, we have our Wild Witches, which have a cool Blight Rain ability, which is going to be a nice AoE with 4 range. Hopefully we can use that. See if the enemy can't pull into a small position. So there's some Renegade Wild Speakers going around. Great, they just summoned Caustic Worms on us. And so the enemy has moved into a position there. So we could drop a Blight Rain right there. That could be good. For now, I think I want to actually use Visions of Victory right here, which is going to grant us some extra fortune. And let's drop our Blight Rain. Here, do a little bit of damage and Sunder defense. In the meantime, can you do a Lightning Evocation 7 range? Yeah, we can. We can actually deal a bit of damage here. So let's do that. I'm going to drop some Lightning Clouds onto the enemy. He's not actually a caster. He's currently infused with the power of Zas. Zas is guiding him. But this power will be withdrawn shortly. So we're going to use our astrologers there to deliver a magic blast. Unfortunately, now our troops are kind of in the position. So I think I need to charge. Let's get our warriors in. We could attempt a stun. Here, we could attempt a 43% chance to stun. Or we could do 100% right there. Let's just go for the 100% on these. Good stuff. Our Sunderers can come in here, and let's actually throw some javelins right here. Deal some damage. And then you guys, can you get a... Yeah, 48% chance is pretty good. It's pretty good, and I don't want you to move there. I'd rather have you move here and then do it. 48%. That's probably as good as we're going to get. Please, Lord, make it work. Oh my god, it did. It's stuck. Alright, perfect. That's the two immediate danger units. I mean, there is the Spirit Hawks back there, but they're not of so much concern. We'll see what happens. Okay. Oh no. Please don't remove the stun. Okay, Spirit Hawk is engaging the Sunderers. That is unfortunate, but that's okay. We should be able to deal with them. Caustic Worms are advancing. Now we're in for some pain. What is that? I don't know. Okay, that was something. That's for sure. So, we could now drop a Condemnation or an Omen of Respite. I think we need to do another Omen of Fortune here for the Victory Horn, so that we can attempt to get some good critical damage in. I want to kill this thing before it can do its true danger to us. I could do a heal right there, Mending Touch. Do it. I should have done the Omen afterwards. Okay, so then you are going to lob some magic. Could lob some magic there against those Hawks. Or you can just straight up kill the Hawks. That's also possible. Or you can kill the Hawks with your arrows. Do that. Good. They're out of the way. No, they're not. Are you fucking steadfast? How? Did I just not kill it? What's Keeper's Mark? Unit has steadfast. Are you shitting me? Even the fucking animals get steadfast? Alright. Well, that's incredibly obnoxious. So, we're gonna come up this way and throw some javelins in. And I'm pulling you back, because I don't want you guys getting screamed at by this wolf. And we're going to deal some damage right here. And I want to take this thing out. I don't know if it's going to work. I don't think it's going to work, but you never know. Get some crits. I mean, that dealt some damage. It's damaged for sure. You can come in, deal some damage onto this unit as well. Unfortunately, it's just like any damage that we do to it, it means nothing until it's dead. So, whereas some of the other units we can weaken by removing models. Okay, what are you doing? Oh god. Yeah. It could just do that. Tank the, alright, there goes some of our defenders. At the very least, this thing is... it's getting healed. Don't like that. And then you can still move and shoot. Okay. Clearly, it's got the same ability that we do with our casters. I feel like the Marauder units should not be getting random transformations. That, I would prefer that, I think. Okay, we are in a little bit of danger here. We might be able to kill this thing, though. If I throw some javelins at it, it's really not going to do much, though. That's the problem. And that fucking bird is still alive. How do I kill you? Condemnation? 10 damage? Maybe? You die now? You're going to just be steadfast. Of course, you get back up. What a surprise. Oh my god. That is incredibly annoying. Alright, well, we're going to at least get rid of that bird. And you can throw some javelins in at this wolf here. Get some damage. It's got sundered defenses. Hopefully we can kill it. It's going to kill me in the retaliation. And I can't do my shield bash anymore. Well, no real sense in delaying. Wow, that happened instantaneously. This is bad. So I need to withdraw. away because I can't use my ability. Enemy in zone of control. Can't use ability for 1 turn. Now I can use it. Alright, a little bit of delay there. Okay, actually pull all the way here. Then use it. Okay, we need to trigger the steadfasts. This wolf is going to continue being an absolute terror because it does a ton of damage. Everything's doing a ton of damage from the looks of it. Those caustic worms just absolutely did a number on our sunderers, and now they're dead. Okay, thankfully they missed, at the very least. Alright, the wolf died. Alright, so steadfast at least seems to be counterable if you have any sort of damage over time, which is cool. So, you guys kill that. It's dead, but of course it is steadfast, so it's not dead. Magic Blast right there, and our homeboy here can... Zika Ikizi is going to do some archery. First, we're going to condemn them, because they're jerks. Alright, pretty solid damage there. It would be a whole lot more damage if we actually spec'd him into archery. I thought we did, but apparently we didn't. Okay, so this is basically all that's left. That, I'm hoping will die. I don't know if I actually inflicted any debuffs onto it. But anyways, it's dead now. Goodbye. And you're also dead. Okay, the enemy has been vanquished. At the meager cost of all of our frontline units. Again. That just seems to be the way of things. But hey, he has leveled up. We have found a Frost Great Axe, which is a tier 2 big ol' axe. I don't particularly like it. I don't like that style of axe. I've indicated that in many, many playthroughs of different games. I do not like double-headed axes. So, yeah, we're going to reset his skills, because he just has a bunch of things that he shouldn't have. So, we're going to give him archery, because that is what he does. Bloodlust. When this unit kills, gain 10 temporary hit points and +1 strengthen. That's pretty good. Don't lie. It's pretty nice. We can give him swift feet as well. Allow him to move around quickly while he's on foot, because we are going to keep him on foot. Hackbane Weaponry. Base attacks gain +2 blight damage and have a 90% chance of inflicting bogged down. I like that. Physical range attacks will gain +1 range, 10% accuracy from Eagle Eye. I like that as well. And then Keen Edge plus 20% critical chance. I also like that. And then I think we just give you Killing Momentum or Archery 2. Let's do Archery 2. We'll get... Or, sorry, we'll do Killing Momentum. And then, what do we want to give you? We do Holy Retribution. Attacks that hit this unit from within 3 hexes deal 5 spirit damage to the attacker. That's okay. Summon Elemental. Maybe. Assassinate. It's a close range ability. Or we can give them Visions of Woe. Let's give you Visions of Woe as well. I really like that ability. So, that's looking good. We don't have any miscellaneous items to give you. I could give you a mount, but we already gave you the Swift thing, so let's not. And aside from that, we're looking all right here. I'm going to keep you with the bow that you have, because I like it. The eagle bow looks cool. Right, enemy has been vanquished. And leveled up. Oh, no, hold on. This is Ukiyasha Iku. Of course he leveled up. What do we give you? The Serpent Shaman. We could give you Distant Evocation. You're mostly a healer, though, so... Though, we could give you some actual magical capabilities, so perhaps... I will give you Distant Evocation. I always like having extra range. In the meantime here, the Prophet is going to be heading down here, because there are enemies abound. I should have built roads. I wish you could just toggle that and it would continue doing it in between turns, but it doesn't, to my knowledge. No, what have we here? Another wreck. I don't think we can defeat that, even though they are just bad tier 2 units. There's no real way I can acquire more. Let's get Anointed People. It's going to cost us a lot. It's going to take us several turns to complete. But when it does, our people will be protected against magical influence, which is going to be incredibly good. So we're going to do some further explorations down through these territories. What? Ah, the Horned God. The Horned God walks. Rulers are being denounced. Well, it would seem that Hirani Quilantir has at the very least now started to denounce 2 of the dragons. Fascinating. Perhaps she is not a lost cause. Good. So, Ezeka Ikizi will return back to Zasara says to replenish his forces. As he replenishes his forces, he will of course need new forces to fight alongside him. Instead of Sunderers, he will bring several Furies to join him. Perhaps just one. He's got the Witches, he's got the Astrologers. He needs some melee units to assist. He is predominantly a fighter, simple fighter himself. We will get some warriors for now. We will get 2 warriors. It will take several turns for these units to recruit, but I think that will be for the best. Well, it's better late than never to start building these roads, so we may as well get on it from at least here. We can connect the roads to the city of Zasara says later, as we move all the way south to deal with this haunted graveyard. There are troops there waiting for us, however, so that is good. However, these troops were placed here to act as a garrison because the city is in a slightly precarious position, and the map is now scrolling. Again, I really don't know why it does that, but it is what it is. We are going to actually spend 48 of our Imperium, because that's going to put us to a nice 300 to immediately allow us to expand our territory. So we could grab these berries here. These berries grant us plus 20 draft. We don't immediately need that. Then there is the matter of the mana node, which we could take. Or there's a pasture right here. Taking this pasture is going to give Hirconix some beef against us. So we're going to want to be kind of cautious there. So what I'm going to do instead is we need to be able to expand these territories quite quickly. So perhaps it would be best if we actually built a farm right here. So we are going to need... We're absolutely going to need this. So I'm going to take this right now. So we're going to take these berries, and these berries are going to grant us... the haste berries. The fruit of the hasteberry bush grows in the blink of an eye with a popping sound that almost sounds like music. Those who have consumed the fruit speak of fizzing sensation and a zesty, tangy taste, as well as of their limbs immediately becoming lighter. Oh, so they're pop rocks, basically, except with, you know, some magic. Delicious. Well, our troops can indeed use that. We should get some new troops ready. So all we have left here is the spear bearers. Of course, we do have some other troops here. Let's return back to base here. There are 4 of us now down. We need a new unit of chaplains. These are absolutely paramount to our war effort. They have been incredibly useful all around the board. And our scouts are going to continue scouting. It seems like there's some wreckage here that is up for the taking, so we will take this wreckage and grab 73 gold, which is a good find for us, and there appears to be more of it in this cove here. Some more flotsam bobbing about, caught in the tidal eddies. So our explorers will now move into this corner of the map. There doesn't appear to be anything here, but let's head up in that direction. This is Gratheim, another city under control of Nazarax, the Swamp King. Meantime, our forces will continue their exploration to just, you know, locate the enemy. We need to find out where they are, what they're doing, etc., etc. Now, we do have some chaplains here, which could bolster the ranks. We already have chaplains in the Prophet's army, along with 2 units of war shamans. We will likely switch one of these units of war shamans out for one of the units of warriors present here in Sair Yazg. Unless, of course, we can construct something else. We don't have better tier 2 units. I would like to find some sort of good tier 2, you know, lizardman melee unit. We'll, of course, get some exotic units in, some beasts, in armies that would make sense. The Serpent Shaman, in fact, I think he's done with the business. He's going to leave her army. He's going to move on his own to Sair Yazg. It will take him quite a bit of time to reach there, but he is going to embark upon this journey on his own, and he will be constructing roads as he does so. He's going to head to Sair Yazg so that he can be with the city that he is actually governing, which I think would be good. Let's end our turn. Something observes us from the mire. Ireth the Soothsayer. Yet another rebel force. More elves, but Well, at least one elf. Her people are not elves at all, we quickly see, but rather amphibians. Much like the slaves of Avnazarak's the Swamp King, the Quazlok, or rebels, are a tribe of toadkin that have broken free from the Draconian Order. We have much in common with Ireth the Soothsayer. Let us immediately begin with a welcome gift. She accepts our gesture of goodwill. Fantastic. The people of the swamp need to find common cause. Divine Absolution. A merchant of the Xaazg Exodites from Irzasri, widely known for his depraved feasts, has come before your throne pleading for absolution.
Do not look with wrath upon this poor sinner, O prophet,
the man begs, his voice thick with fear.
For too long I have ignored the divine bidding of thy faith. Now a dark curse has befallen me, slowly destroying all I hear dear. Even my own health is dwindling, draining any strength I have left. Please, my prophet, name any offering or service I can give to save me and my family from this curse.
You are a merchant. Your depravity has been, of course, funded by the excesses of the wealth you have amassed. Relieve yourself of this wealth, and this curse will undoubtedly leave you. This curse is one of your own making. The will of Zas will show you the way. Excellent. Now, with this merchant's resources in our treasury, we can make further constructions in Xiar-Aisk. Xiar-Aisk is poised in a dangerous location. There are 2 enemy cities rather nearby, so readying it for war would be beneficial to us. However, we haven't had any direct threats from the enemy yet. So for now, perhaps we can continue on with our economic advancement. Let us construct a stonemason here. It won't take too long, and it will bolster further constructions. What we can also do is attract further population to Xiar-Aisk due to its low cost, which will allow us to expand additional farmlands. Let us fill in our territory now that we have all of the proper territories that we need. We'll take additional farmlands and allow the city to flourish even further. A new empire development skill is available to us. Indeed, we can go down to expert sailors. Coast and river provinces grant +2 food. We do have a lot of river and coast provinces. Rivers count as roads for the purpose of movement for your units. That would be incredibly good. There are also a lot of rivers through our territory. Or we could do justified wars. Grants 20 more grievances against players with an opposing alignment. Well, that would be handy against the I didn't mean to click that. Are you kidding? Well, Benevolent Conquerors. Vassals gain +1 allegiance levels when first vassalized. Converting conquered cities into vassals takes -1 turn. That will be useful later. We do plan on doing that, but that's not immediately useful now, and that really sucks. I had a hand twitch. Like I said, my hand is in a state of open rebellion. So, you know, hands does what hands does. That was unfortunately timed. Okay. You know, the will of Zas has made itself known. This is what was demanded. We will take this watchtower here and then complete this road. And yeah, indeed, Ukiyasha Iku is almost at his ordained destination. We have some warriors recruiting here. We will not hasten the production. Right now, we do not have any pressing threats on our borders. However, here, it might be beneficial to us to build some new units. We do have some tier 3 units available. We could construct some shield maidens or some berserkers. Berserkers would be a nice charging infantry. Shield maidens would be an excellent defensive infantry. I do like the defensive infantry. We will construct one. Just one. We'll take 3 turns to complete. It's always good to have production and draft going whenever possible in whichever cities you might need to have them in. The only one that we likely don't have draft going in is Asara says? No, we do. What about Xiar-Aisk? Where is that? That's down here? I think there's something going here. There's not. Did we? We can construct some beasts down here. Indeed, the Prophet is coming. Or not the Prophet. Well, the Prophet is coming, but Ukiyasha Iku is coming as well. He has sent a directive back to Xiara East to begin breeding serpents. They will serve him. He is, of course, the serpent shaman. So, we will recruit some plague serpents. He, of course, has an affinity with life, which is why he's a healer, but as the serpent shaman, he is also well-versed in the art of, we'll call it unhealing. Poisons and healing all in one, such as the way of the serpent. Well, there's more territory for us to uncover down here. Sadly, no resources for us to find. What about up here? We're going to have to head up to the northern continent, so we're going to take a very long journey across the sea. I pray my scouts will be able to make it. Let us move up here. That's unpleasant territory. Rulers are being denounced. Hirconix has crossed you. Excellent. Good. Good. Hirhani seems to be coming back to the light. She is, after all, a good leader. She is no malignant overlord. What about Ireth? Ireth as well. Torbeld is neutral. To be expected from dwarves. Of Nazarax. Interesting. He is maintaining a secrecy over his alignment. The evils that he commits are hidden, we should say. Nebuchadnezzar as well. He's beyond evil, in truth. And Hirconix the Binder. This is kind of interesting. I would have expected that because I built this faction as Scions of Evil, that they would actually commit evil. I also don't know why there is a no recent evil actions grants good. So everything naturally gravitates towards good. I'm not a fan of that. That kind of messes with some of the narratives. So, as I often do in games with alignment systems, I'm going to completely ignore the alignment system for the purpose of the narrative, because I hate alignment systems. Sorry to D&D players that maybe like it. I cannot stand it. Of course, I have my own pen and paper RPG that I've been working on, and I use a pretty complex trait system, psychological trait system, where you kind of, you build your alignment. It's not even an alignment. It's just like you have a bunch of character traits. Like, are you honest? Are you diligent? Are you honorable? Pure? Cruel? Paranoid? Skittish? Etc., etc. And they all provide little, modifiers to your character. It's cool stuff. You will eventually see some tabletop role-playing on this channel. It's a ways away, because I need a lot of art and stuff to make it work, but I have a campaign that's slowly brewing, but it'll take some time before it's there. Anyways, here's us can expand. Fantastic. We could take this Oyster Reef. Would be good. However, there's dragons guarding it. Or we could take this one. But no, let's expand south. I would like to actually be able to get into some of these rich territories down here. So, the best one I could take, I think, would then be right here. Build another farm. Would be good. And we should be able to expand even further. Now, Inflict Rot has been completed, so we now have an extra combat spell at our disposal. Salvation here. We could get Salvation. Another combat spell. Target friendly unit heals all of its hit points as temporary hit points. Dispels its negative status effects, gains 3 bolstered. That sounds amazing. We're going to research Salvation. And for now, our troops are going to continue their exploration. There's nothing here, indeed. Alright, we've been almost everywhere, so we need to pull over that way. What I might do, actually, because this scout is quite far away from everything, is I'm going to disband the scout. Spare us a little bit of resources. Whereas these ones still have plenty to discover. That one was a bit in a already largely discovered corner. Like, yeah, there's more, but that's under Torbeld's jurisdiction. Now, profit is going to descend. Fantastic. Can't build roads here, of course. So then move here, and then you can build roads. Oh, that allows him to move even farther. Except not. What's happening? I'm confused. Alright, well, go there. There we go. Now go back. Fantastic. Okay. He continues his own exodus. The roads here are already built, so we don't need to do anything there. Yeah, doesn't speed him up either. Okay, that is concerning. They were coming for him. I hope they can't reach him. They might be able to. This one, no, I don't think so. That is concerning, though. This is a direct posturing towards war. Zulusk really needs to be upgraded, like, soon. So we're going to immediately... that's too expensive. Then start recruiting another unit. I don't think Siaraisk can take on 2 enemy forces, though there is just a lot of tier 1 units. This is basically all just arcanists. Okay, we're moving. They're posturing for war. We're going to respond. So, Izika Ikizi is going to move to Xulusk. And as much as I would like the Prophet to engage down here, the Prophet is also going to move towards Zulusk. He's going to go to reinforce Ukiyasha Iku. I don't trust what they're going to do. Spell ready, anointed people. We will become the anointed. Transform us. Let us see how we appear now. Ooh. Golden eyes. Fantastic. Well, not a big change. That's fine. They don't all need to look like big changes. And our scouts are going to continue scouting the oceans and finding nothing, because the oceans are mostly empty. From the surface, anyways. This is true. So, Siaraisk is under construction. Yeah, we're looking good. Hold there. Spell's ready to cast. We could get a... Let's ready an army heal. Message received.
I must say, you may actually be worth my attention, Aritsoskira. Perhaps our empires may actually be able to coexist.
I see he has even learned the proper pronunciation of our true name. It is a great honor. Torbell, Chainbreaker. We will send messengers back to him with our compliments. It is learning of the Xazk tongue. It is not an easy thing for an outsider to do. Marshes spread through our territories and beyond. We could immediately expand Xulusk for 48 Imperium. I think that would be a wise move. I'm going to seize these gold mines down here. And the Serpent Shaman is going to continue his retreat. As it currently stands, the Prophet is going to go out to meet him. He will construct a road to this watchtower right here. It would be really nice if I could actually click on what I wanted to click on. Thank you, game. Fantastic. Our troops here will join them. Now, the Plague Serpents are being raised and trained, of course, but it will still take a little bit of time. As for what we're going to do here on Irzas Re, we could construct a Grand Wharf. Would increase our production by 20. This would allow us to build even faster. It would cost us 204 gold right now, but I think that might be good. Interesting. Wizard's Tower 2, though. +5 Imperium income, +2 vision range. That could be nice, but also quite expensive. Lots of mana. Would take 4 turns. Oh, it could still be good. Ooh, an Abbey might be good, too. 10 knowledge +3 knowledge per adjacent farm. That's going to be good once we have some farms down here. So we could, say, replace this with an Abbey once we have a farm right there. And then we'll have 4 adjacent farms to this Abbey. You know what, I'm going to queue this up right now. Just so that I don't forget later. That's going to grant some absolutely massive research income. And then I think we do the Merchants Guild. No, we're better off with the Grand Wharf for now. We'll be able to produce things faster later on. Alright, spell ready. Army heal is ready to go. Let's see if there's any other big spells that we might want. Let's just get ourselves an Augury of Aid. We don't need to cast it at the moment. I just want it ready for action. So, our troops here are ready to defend Xulusk. I'm going to hold... She is going to hold Xulusk. She has just received a directive from the Prophet that she is not to leave the borders of that city If Hirconix means to attack, he will attempt to pick off isolated armies or characters. If she leaves the city, she will not be able to take on 2 enemy armies. At least not easily. Help is coming. Once Azike Akizi arrives, the 2 of them, both veteran warriors, will be able to join their forces together and can go on a proper hunt to potentially engage Hirconix. I think it's coming. I think the war with Hirconix may begin within only a few weeks. This is a clear threat to our borders. Not that we haven't done the same, but it was the dragons that burned the world, not us. Well, Holden Zasada says several troops under construction there, or under training, I should say. And we can immediately begin queuing up another troop, so I will queue up a Fury in reserve. We'll need many forces, because troops are going to need reinforcement. Also, we need to get ourselves a teleportation network online very quickly. Alright, I'm going to skip ahead to the next turn, which will likely be the last turn this episode. And here we are. Irzasri has produced the Shield Maiden. I'm immediately going to send the Shield Maiden down to threatened territory. So we're going to send her to Xiaraisk as the intermediate staging ground. Perhaps she should be building a road to just connect this, but perhaps not. The Fury is under construction there. Xulusk has produced a stonemason, which should allow Xulusk to construct things much faster. So a storehouse would increase our food income. That would be very good. It would also be quite beneficial to us to potentially construct some walls, but we cannot do that yet. So a storehouse it is. We do want some new units, but at this point, it's perhaps not in our complete best interest to produce just tier 1 units. So the forces have aligned together. Excellent. So Ukiyasha Iku will move here now, and will join up with this force here. One of the Plague Serpents is already going to head his way. The other one will be ready to arrive shortly, and that will be his army. He's going to have, actually, it's just going to be 1 Plague Serpent. We'll move one of these warriors back when the time is right. We could even move one of the War Chanters back and give a little bit more of a front line here for the Prophet. We'll see. We'll see. There's also a Shield Maiden. Those would be a whole lot better. Let us investigate this wreckage here. 65 gold. Looks interesting. Now, I'm not going to send the Prophet out ahead. It would be directly against what the Prophet decreed. So he's going to hold here for now, while the remainder of our scouts continue their explorations. Not much more to find, to be honest. I think he's going to start heading north. Perhaps we can find this Ireth soothsayer, wherever she might be. So all 3 of the dragons are down here, which is, you know, or at least, yeah, for sure. All 3 of the dragons should be down here, right? I thought so. Your honey's up there. Obeld's here. Where? Oh, no. Nezukhadnevex is up here. Okay. So the Bar Adnevex Imperium is up there. We have, of course, Hirconix's Jadur Shadal thralls down here, and then the domain of the Swamp King over here. We're going to be at war with Hirconix soon, I fear. But that, my friends, is going to be all for today's episode. I duly hope you've enjoyed it. My apologies once again for the time in between the episodes. I'm hoping that I can get that sorted out so that we can get some more regular uploads here. You know, not only for your sake, but also for mine, for the sake of the channel. YouTube likes regular uploads. So, for the sake of the channel, do drop this video a like if you do enjoy it. And, you know, leave comments. I enjoy reading them. And the comments in this series have been awesome. So, once again, if you leave lore comments, I may be incorporating them into some of the introductions or even midpoint stuff if there's anything super drastic happening that warrants it. So, yeah, guys, that's going to be all for today. Catch you all in the next one. Ash Heriter out.